No one noticed that the sky was gradually darkening and that small raindrops had begun to fall. It was a sign of a powerful dark force, death. The sudden appearance of death surprised both Lucifer and Conquest. Death approached War and spoke to Lucifer. "If you dare to kill War, one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse and also my subordinate, you should know how terrifying the consequences will be." Sweat dripped from Lucifer's face as Death warned him. He hesitated, stepping back toward Conquest and War. Yet, despite Death's warning and presence, Lucifer remained determined to kill War. While Death turned to speak with Conquest, Lucifer seized the opportunity and recklessly hurled 3 fireballs at War. Conquest, acting quickly, leaped in front of War, taking the attack in his place. He was struck by Lucifer's most powerful attack and collapsed, gravely wounded. Lucifer smirked wickedly, preparing to unleash a second attack to finish off both Conquest and War. However, before he could strike, Death knocked him back effortlessly. With just a flick of his hand, Death sent Lucifer flying several meters away, causing him to crash and roll across the ground. Furious, Lucifer lunged at Death, intent on killing him. But he did not realize that, in both power and wisdom, he was no match for Death. With minimal effort, Death simply snapped his fingers, causing Lucifer to cough up blood and be thrown back once again. Death stared directly at Lucifer and said, "You brat! You dare to attack even me? Even your creator fears me. And yet, you, a mere archangel, act without any sense or wisdom." This time, instead of submitting, Lucifer became even more violent and defiant. His wings were now soaked in blood, and the radiant lights surrounding him had turned crimson. He roared, "Death! I do not fear you. I fear no one in this universe. Ha 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 ha." His eyes turned black. Death immediately recognized what was happening. The 3 demons that God had sealed away were beginning to take over Lucifer's body. He was no longer an angel. He was transforming into a demon, consumed by darkness. His voice deepened, distorted. The surrounding angels, witnessing this terrifying change, recoiled in fear and flew away. Lucifer turned to face them and let out an ear-splitting scream, infused with dark energy. The sound alone tore through the ranks of heaven's army, shredding hundreds of angels into pieces. Seeing Lucifer slaughter his own soldiers so mercilessly, Death grew enraged. He flew toward Lucifer, trying to bring him back to his senses, but it was too late. Lucifer had fully transformed into the Demon King. Lucifer grabbed Death by the throat, lifted him, and sneered. "I am God now. I will rule this universe. All creation shall kneel before me. And you, Death, not even you, nor the Old One, can stop me. Now, I will free the 3 demons that he sealed away in hell." Conquest, having regained consciousness, was horrified by the scene before him. He fired a barrage of holy arrows at Lucifer, but they disintegrated the moment they touched Lucifer's blood-red wings. Lucifer flung Death aside and strode toward Conquest. Laughing, he mocked, "You are no longer a match for me. The horsemen are finished. Ha ha ha." Conquest refused to back down, but he knew he was powerless against Lucifer's new form. Gritting his teeth, he clenched his bow tightly and gathered all his remaining strength for a final shot. His hand glowed brightly, and in his grasp appeared the arrow of conquest, his most powerful attack. The radiant light surrounding him momentarily pushed back the surrounding darkness. "Lucifer!" Conquest shouted. "I will purge the darkness that has taken hold of you with this arrow." With those words, he fired. The arrow, moving at incomprehensible speed, tore through the battlefield, dispelling the encroaching darkness wherever it passed. Lucifer showed no fear or hesitation, he remained calm. Kneeling down, he placed his hand on the ground. Immediately, the earth trembled violently, and darkness surged forth once more. The light from the arrow of conquest began to wane. A massive shield of fire enveloped Lucifer's body, and when the arrow struck, the ground shook violently again. A blinding flash erupted, but in the end, the arrow disintegrated into nothingness. Conquest's face was filled with fury and despair, while Lucifer sneered wickedly. He extended his hand toward Conquest, and in an instant, a blood-red blade pierced through Conquest's heart. Then, Lucifer vanished. Death lunged forward, attempting to stop Lucifer, but it was too late. Conquest collapsed to the ground. Death teleported to Conquest's side and grasped his hand. With his last breaths, Conquest struggled to speak. "Death, don't kill Lucifer. He is merely lost, consumed by darkness. Do not awaken your true power or reveal your true form. If you lose control, all of creation will be destroyed. Promise me." Before Death could respond, Conquest's hand fell limp, and he died in Death's arms. At that moment, War returned to his senses. He stood frozen, horrified by the death of Conquest, the monstrous transformation of Lucifer, and the countless lifeless bodies of angels scattered across the battlefield. War teleported to Conquest's body and, for the first time, shed tears. He blamed himself for his foolish rebellion against heaven and for failing to protect Conquest. Conquest's body began to glow, and, along with his bow, it faded away into nothingness. The horseman of Conquest, the embodiment of victory, was dead. The news spread swiftly across heaven and hell, and soon, it reached the ears of God himself. Upon hearing it, God remained silent, his expression contemplative, deeply troubled by the reckless and foolish actions of his rebellious son, Lucifer. At that moment, Death appeared before God's throne in his true form, Reaper form, the angel of death. In this form, Reaper was as powerful as God himself, perhaps even stronger. God was astonished to see Amigo in this form. Since the dawn of creation, Death had only assumed his Reaper form once before, and now, this was the second time. Death spoke to God with unwavering resolve. "You must deliver justice for Conquest and punish the traitor Lucifer. If you do not, I, Amigo, will do it myself, and when that time comes, not even you will be able to stop me." His words sent shockwaves through the heavens. The archangels and celestial hosts stood in stunned silence. All knew that Death's presence in his original form was a harbinger of catastrophe. God rose from his throne, still deep in thought, and solemnly replied, "Amigo, rest assured, I will not let this sacrifice be in vain. I will send Michael and Gabriel, along with the strongest legion of heaven's army, to capture Lucifer and bring him back to face judgment. More to come. Next chapter, Lucifer wreaks havoc in heaven, unleashing the instincts of the angels against God. Hi, Michael and Gabriel. Please press sub to give me more motivation to continue writing this story. Thank you.